Every week for the Wednesday Lunch Live Sketch, and we do it for around 25 minutes. Today's topic is going to be, if I am saying his name correctly, Yunobo from Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've been playing a little bit too much of that, probably. In fact, I probably need to stop playing it because it's all I think about. It's a little nuts. I should have went to bed last night, and instead I played it for 2 hours, and it's having a negative effect on my health. So I'm probably going to take a break on it, and I'll probably play Master Blaster instead, or Blaster Master. So that said, why don't we go into Photoshop. I'm going to set my timer. We do it for 25 minutes, and we're going to start sketching. There, timer is going. Excuse me. I thank you guys for joining me today. So we have our first layer, and as we know, this is a timed kind of thing. So we're moving quickly. I have some reference because I'm not quite sure of some of his detailing. So, but I think, I was playing around with some of his shapes, and he's very Ninja Turtle-ish in terms of the barrel-shaped body, and like he has a bit of a rock back, which we're not going to see in this pose. Maybe just get these arms here, and I know he has like runty legs. So here's our center line, and then we can have our gestural drawing going right into the foot, which is a small little tiny thing, and then this gestural thing could be the other foot. I'm more concerned here with our upper body, and he's got big fists, so let's give them like nice blocky shapes. And maybe this one could be a little bit more in perspective, coming at us a little bit more, something along those lines. Something like this. Let's just block in the idea of a thumb and a fist. This fist could be like this, and these forearms are very blocky as well, so we have a bit of perspective on this as well. I can see already that I probably need this screen right arm to kind of come out a little bit, which is okay because what we're doing is working very loosely, so it's easy for me to just delete this and just keep moving right along. Sorry for 1 second. I believe my YouTube stream is going. I don't know why my YouTube stream has been acting strange on the live feed. It says that It says I'm offline. Let me hit refresh. It's so weird. I'm assuming it's streaming. Let me check. It says that I'm streaming to YouTube, so it's kind of weird. Let me hit refresh again on it because it's not showing. I'm not going to sit here and waste time. Oh wait, maybe now it's doing it. Oh, what's this? There's another tab over here. Oh, look at that. Wow, I'm learning as I go. Look at me. Look at me. I don't think I ever knew that this existed. Sorry, guys. I just got really, really distracted about that. I should look into that a bit more off stream. I use XSplit to push out to Twitch and to YouTube at the same time, so... which I normally do for my animation live streams, but I've never had this kind of trouble before. Animation for fun live stream. Yeah, kind of strange. I'm not quite sure. You're live, it says. Set my start point. I don't know what that means. I wonder where my chat is, if there's a chat. It says there's 3 people watching right now, so if you're listening, if you're in the YouTube chat, I'm sorry. For whatever reason. So let's get the idea of his head in here. Let's get his cranium. And we're looking slightly down on him, so let's build out some thickness to the cheeks. And this could probably, the chin can come out a little bit more. Sorry about that distraction. And here's an eye line. And he's got that hair, so the center line is going to be kind of important. So let's just get the idea of some hair in here. It kind of folds over a little bit. And he's got a sizable mouth. And he's got little tiny eyes. And a little nose. And another little tiny eye. I mean, he has very appealing features considering he's made out of rock. And he's got very large teeth. And his lips are pronounced. And once we get past this stage of just roughing in ideas and putting in concepts and all that stuff, we can move into the next part of just nailing it down and getting it in there, tying our drawing down. And here's his chest. Here's a chest line, and he's got that like that. It's got the idea of it, the hero's tunic. And maybe I'll take this fist and just move it down a little bit. Let's just kind of take out some of this stuff. And I know this is where some of the detailing is going to be lost on me. I'm not quite sure of what is going on in the detailing there. Oh, I see. It's like a so we can exaggerate this a bit more. It's almost like a chain in that there's this piece here. That these are connected. Two knots are connected to this piece here, and then we have a square. And it's pretty large. I probably can go even larger with it. And his nose is a little smaller than when I made it, so why don't we... And it's a little more nubby too. And let's try and find the contour of his head a bit better. Pull my brush down slightly. And this part of the tunic can help, or whatever you want to call that, can help define some of it. So again, if you're on YouTube, I'm sorry I can't chat with you. My chat is oddly not showing. So let's get the roundness here. And I'm not quite sure what happens to the back here. I think it's a very small... I haven't been able to find a reference, and I forget what he looks like in game, like what happens back here. So this is more of a hood more than anything else. So we can treat it as such. Let's build that shoulder out a bit more. And then again, we have a forearm element here, which is obscuring a lot. And his hair. Let's try and look at his hair. Kind of doing this roll. His eyes can probably come down a bit more. So let's try and find a more correct center line here. Finding the contours of his face too. So that's the other thing I need to keep in mind, is that he has a face plane. And we can get his eyes a little squinty. He's got chunky brows. That's kind of fun. So let's start thinking about these hands a bit more. Let's give a save too. Saving is always very important. So we have 17 minutes, and I'd like to get to some color, so I might have to sacrifice some of the legs. So he's got these. Wow, these forearms are massive. So let's see what we can do here to get them in. He also has this sizable chunky bracelet. So let's get those chunky bracelets in there. There we go. Okay. I don't know why my chat isn't live chat. Open in a new window. Huh, maybe that'll work. Oh, there we are. Hey guys, I finally got it to work. Someone just rang my doorbell. Do I work for a company like Disney? I do not. I do not work for a company like Disney. Someone just delivered something to my door. Anyone care to go get it? No, I do not work for Disney, Mox. Thank you for showing up today. I have worked for Disney as the company. I had worked on Little Einsteins as an animator, so that just simply meant I was contracted by Disney. So I think he has 5 fingers. I'm pretty sure there's 5 fingers going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's just build out this like that. And again, he's got that sizable cuff going on too. Thank you for showing up, guys. I appreciate it. Dino Wolf, what's up, dude? How are you? Have you been? Good to see you. Just doing some sketching. I was having some trouble at the beginning of the stream with just the settings in YouTube. A little strange. They must have changed them or something. Let me check my time, because one thing I'd like to do is move on to doing... so I got 14 minutes left. So the next thing I want to do is maybe put another layer up. Let's take our thumb. We'll do this. We'll call this tie down. We'll go to thumbs, and we'll pull the thumbnail layer down. And then we'll work on our tie down layer. What the heck is that? What is this? I have a weird mark in there and I have no idea what layer it's on. It might be on one of the reference layers. It is. No. I don't like this mark. It's driving. Yeah. Ooh, it's gone. Let's lock our layers. Let's go back up to our tie downs and we'll pull in a little bit. And we'll even shrink our pencil down a bit. That looks pretty good. Maybe even darken it up a little bit more. YouTube is weird with the stream process. It is kind of strange. I mean, sometimes it works better when I do my animation live streams on Monday nights. I run it through XSplit, so and I do the same exact thing. So I don't know why it's acting strange now, but whatever. Let's get the roundness of his head here. I like this overlapping shape here. There we go. Break that up a little bit. Try and avoid any tangents here. So let's have that shoulder mass coming out here. Okay. This is kind of weird, the intersections here. I mean, even if you look at I guess these are the knots. There's little knots coming out here. It's a bit strange. I don't know. So now let's kind of really figure out what's going on here. Give it a little bit of a bend. Not a bend, but we can turn it. Turn it a bit in perspective. And if I'm doing that, that means I need to turn this in perspective. Give it some thickness. Follow this out to its logical conclusion around here somewhere. Pretty sure. Let me look at that design again. Trying to find his. Ugh, they're both covered. Pretty sure it's just kind of like a triangular shape. Something like this. So we can sum it up. Something along those times. So let's get back to the face. His nose is stubby. And let's still get the idea that his eyes are open. I don't want to... So we'll give him a little bit of roundness along the top. And give a little bit of a highlight in there. And these are really triangular and chunky. I mean, he is appealing, despite the fact that he's like this weird mass. I mean, his features are almost like a baby. I'm trying to be careful in here. I don't want to cause... Like, I don't want this to be overlapping oddly. So let's build the lip in, and then we'll go in and fill this back in like so. Maybe just clean that up a tad. Go. And he does have those big, chunky, boulder-like teeth. And like this definitely has like a, it's almost like a strudel. And it continues onto the back of his head, and then it does do a bit of a strange kind of flip. So let's try something like that. Excuse me. I've been looking on time. So definitely want to splash some color in there. So I have 7 minutes. We're doing okay. 7.5 minutes. Again, this is a bit of a speed test, so to speak. I always get these things on the upper arms too, and I'm curious about how I'm going to get them in there. I'm not quite sure what they are. It's like a chain. It's like a link, like a circular. So what we can do is just jump down to the thumbnail layer, and we can rough them in first. And then like just getting the curvature of the arm, that'll help sell it. And now let's do the same for the other side. And we can probably even cheat a little bit over here because we don't really see it so much. Right around here somewhere. And again, this is like a rough. I'm just roughing this in. And I'm pretty happy with that for the most part. Find some thickness to these. Okay, and now we'll go back up to our tie down layer. Oh, actually first we'll pull the opacity down and then go back to our tie down and kind of really just lock it in. We live in a time where it is constant notifications, constant stream of someone trying to get a hold of us. And that's why, to get back on topic with Zelda maybe a little bit, I don't really mind that the Switch doesn't have all these hooks for all of this stuff, because I have enough stuff. I am constantly barraged with messages all day long. So like at a time like right now, I'm trying to concentrate, I'm trying to get things done quickly. I forgot to hit the quiet hours button. And it's like, you know, I'm fine with the Switch. Like, I already messaged down here already, and I don't want to click it, but I'm one of those people that I'm kind of anal. I'd have to, like, I can't have, like, too many notifications on my phone. It drives me bonkers. So, like, I have to click that stuff and clear it away. That's my old man rant for the day. That is why I am totally okay with the Switch not having all of these services. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough services. Okay. Let's keep this nice and chunky. And I'm going to probably ignore the rest of his body down here. I don't even know what he has. I think he has like a pair of pants on or something. I can't recall what's down there. And for the sake of this stream, I'm going to just move quickly and just get some. I want to get some color in there. What's my time? I'm going to get the other fist cleaned up. So I got 3.5 minutes. So we're going to go over a little bit. And let's just build these fingers out. Trying to keep these blocky because he's such a blocky character. This could use a little more curve. And the pinky can tuck in just a little bit. Give this a nice curve. Okay. So let's get that chunky bracelet thing going on again over here. And here's the other side of this thing. And then here's the foreshortened forearm. Here's our chunky bracelet. And this can be streamlined. Okay. He's looking pretty rad so far. Maybe a little bit of cleanup can go in here, but not too much. Just maybe, yeah, I want to push the overlap on this. Just to kind of sink his head inside of it a little bit more. It's kind of nice. There we go. Area is busy, and by busy I mean there's a lot of detail going on. So let's hit save, and why don't we just start putting in some color just to kind of finish this guy off a little bit. We can call this color, and we can take that, turn that off as well. So let's go and find some color. Eric, how you doing? How are you, dude? Eric9794, how are you? Oh, Smash Boy, what's up? In Twitch, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. So let's just grab some color, some local color. The great thick man is here. Who is that? You or Yunobo? Bad pixel gaming. Oh. Alright. That's the end of my 25 minutes. So let's add some color in. But you can see the difference. The two screen grabs here are vastly different. And I can't quite tell which one looks better. This one almost looks oversaturated to me. This one looks a little more correct. The answer is probably somewhere in the middle. So I'm going to pull the saturation down just a little bit, and let's just start splashing in some color. We can get pretty loose with our first pass, just getting his tone in, and then we can go in there and really get the detail in. So we can just splash a bunch of this stuff in. Just massing in his shapes. And again, we'll go back in. Let's get our edges nice and clean at least. There we go. Mass that in. The term massing in just refers to taking this block of color, which is the majority of his design, and just kind of getting it in there. And then we can wrestle with the rest. Like the separation between his hand and the body, we'll wrestle with that when we get to it. Painting cells is the reverse. So if this was a cell that I was painting traditionally, which I have painted cells before, I would have took the time and painted all the small details first. And then after that dries, it's easy. It's the reverse process, because after the small details dry, you can just take a big fat brush with your massive color and just mass over top of everything. And it just makes that process go a lot quicker. So we're going to move along. Just going to move along here. You think about doing a speed drawing this week? Haven't done one in a while. Sure, man. I'll try and take your channel out sometime whenever I get some downtime, which is not often. I mean, when you say speed, do you mean like do a drawing and then speed it up? You are the thick man? THICC? Smash Boy? Alright, we got his local color masked in. Now we can just break it down into the next. The next logical thing would be this. And now I have to start kind of taking care of where I'm putting color. I still think this orange is a bit too orange. I may want to pull some of the saturation out of the reds. So I'm taking care on this part. I mean, I always go over 25 minutes. But I got my initial sketch in 25 minutes, so that's pretty good. That's something. No idea what the interior of his mouth is doing. Yeah, I think this color palette that I'm sampling from is probably way too saturated. And what I'm going to do, I think, is maybe pull the saturation down. In fact, I'll do it now. What is it? Right, you're recording the video and then you're playing it back. You're speeding it up, right, of course, right. Where's my hue saturation? Why is it not popping up? I'm getting upset. Well, make it a clipping mask. Let's just pull the saturation down. Or, actually, maybe the lightness. And maybe just pull a little bit of the saturation out. It's just too hot. It's a little better. I feel like this sampling that I pulled from is just too hot. So let's fold that down and keep working. But now my blue is off, so I feel like I probably should recolor this blue. It feels a little better. Actually, let's fix that again. Let's go back. Okay, let's get his hair somewhere in a tan category. Oops. And let's get this nice and clean. Well, not nice and clean, but let's make sure our edges are not sloppy. There we go. Took a little time on that. Let's get his teeth in there. I'm assuming they're going to be a little off-white. Something along that. You did a fan dub of some animation back in January. That's cool, man. For what? A fan dub of what? Gray that out. Let's find a nice pink for the tongue. Maybe a little more saturation, maybe a little more red. Some white in here. Let's go a little lighter on his lips in some spots. There we go, that's kind of fun. And so let's start getting these brownish kind of stuff in there. Maybe go a little lighter. Maybe a little darker. Five Nights at Freddy. That sounds pretty cool, man. So let's echo the same on this side. Go a little darker for these bracelet things. Okay, so now for this, we're gonna go some grays, some gray tones, and we'll just mass it in. All right, we'll find a little bit of a lighter for the interior of it. And I'm pretty sure it's red. Yeah. Let's get a nice red. And maybe we can go a little darker. Just in certain spots, just hit it here and there. All right, he's coming along pretty good, and I think, I mean, again, I don't really know what exactly is happening down, like what kind of pants he may have on. I haven't been able to find much reference for it, so I'm just going to give the idea of that. And I'm probably going to crop the image like that anyway, so. Okay, so let's start moving into some of the final stuff here. So we have, he's got some white detailing here. Oops. It's kind of coming along the back and wraps along the side. Just give the idea. That's good. Now the next thing we can do is I think we can punch in some cheeks, because he's got some cheeks. Make them nice and rosy. Let's give a soft brush. Hit that a little lighter maybe. And as a last thing we can do, we can just put in some color, or tone rather. Multiply, set this to 50%. Sebastian, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me, man. Oops. So let's do this. Put some blue. I'm gonna go a little red. You know what? I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna put a little more red in this. Probably go a little more purple, because he's gonna be, you know, these guys are, make his tones a little darker, a little more. What am I trying to say? A little more fiery. So let's put a tone underneath here. And pull that down, give a little thickness to his lips here. Okay. Oh, I didn't finish coloring in on the local color. Let's grab this here. I'm gonna try and wrap this up because I need to get back to work. And let's just continue kind of hitting some shadows in here. Okay. I start getting quiet when I'm thinking. Okay, I think this is gonna about wrap it up. Let's just put in a few more tones in his hair. And what we can also do, let's try making a highlight. We'll call this, let's color burn it. Let's try that. No, lighten. Hard light. And let's see how this works. This is an experiment. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Yeah, I don't like this. Well, let's pull the opacity down. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like it so much here. But it'll do, it's gonna do. I think it's gonna do for now. Guys, I need to sign off now. I thank you very much for everyone who joined me. Please, if you're, where's the button? Where's my button? So if you're watching the recording of this, you will see in front of you a couple of, end card, that. Now you'll see it. You'll see a subscribe button if you're watching the recording of this. Please click that to keep up with me, everything I do, and follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, my blogger, for any other updates throughout the course of the week. Thanks, guys, and everyone have a good one. Take care.